Hello and welcome. My name is Cassandra Gerard, and my topic is the soda tax. So let's get started. What exactly is the soda tax? The soda tax is a tax levied on soda distributors to generate more revenue for a city or a district. Now, usually, not all the time, these taxes will be specifically sent to programs that are either underfunded, like education, or services that are negatively impacted by the consumption of sodas and sugary drinks, think medical services. Now, usually these taxes are at rates ranging from 2 cents per every 12 ounces all the way up to 1.5 per single ounce. One was proposed originally up to 3 cents for a single ounce, but did get passed at the 1.5 for a single ounce. Now we're going to go through reasons for the soda tax to be suggested through a specific example. It was through the year 2016 with a Philadelphia mayor named Jim Kenney. Now, Jim Kenney was the one who originally proposed the abnormally large 3 cents per single ounce soda tax. And although it was highly abnormal and controversial kind of a tax, Kenney got more support than usual due to some situational circumstances and because of how he approached the subject. One of the circumstances was that he had a lower availability of funds for education due to previous cuts made by the mayor before his term. He argued that with this soda tax, he's going to get the funds needed because they are more available in the specific area. And he's going to earmark that tax specifically to fund public services such as education that was underfunded and for the health services, which he believed correctly that soda did contribute to higher medical costs for his city. Another thing that Kenney argued was that soda was sold primarily to lower income communities, which Philadelphia had a larger amount. There we go. And also, it could possibly reduce the medical costs that we mentioned earlier. So, moving on for reasons for caution for the tax is that this is a very situational kind of tax, and it could be better in rare cases, but is most likely a negative choice or a worse choice. And with Philadelphia, the situational circumstances did make that one of the very few options this certain city had left to grab reasonably and feasibly. Governor Kenney did also warn other cities' mayors to not just copy and paste this for their own city, as it was, as he said, highly situational. And other people, and he did not argue this, but a lot of other people have argued this is a highly regressive tax policy. The reason for that is that when you tax companies, when you tax distributors, it is very rare, almost never really happens, that they just let the tax burden be on the company. They push it to their consumers. So ultimately, when they say, oh, we're going to tax the companies, it is going to be a tax on those who consume the product or buy the product. And in this case, it was the most vulnerable of their community. This kind of tax is called a sin tax, where the main effect is punishment for the purchase of a product instead of finding alternative ways of directing a people group's purchase. Also, it is considered regressive because it is, again, taxing the poorest of the populace, where they are already disproportionately taxed compared to the wealthy. One more thing to mention is that it is a questionably effective policy in lowering BMI, which was one of the other arguments I forgot to mention earlier. It was originally thought to lower BMI, but with further empirical studies, it was shown to be much less effective than originally estimated. Average consumption of sodas were minimally lowered in comparison. It is also good to mention that a tax on sugar content instead of ounces of soda is a more effective alternative, but it is still considered a sin tax. And now to wrap everything up, I'm going to conclude that the soda tax is a generally very flawed and highly situational tax policy. There are better options than the soda tax as it pushes taxes onto our most vulnerable in our community, even when the intent is to help. A better option that we could push forward is what we did with the tobacco industry. Like with tobacco, we could put warning labels on sugary drink products. And in some situations, it has been shown to reduce their consumption to about 24%. Also, previous FDA campaigns that warned against the use of cigarettes and graphically depicted the extent to which cigarettes can negatively impact one's health have changed the way our country understands the effects of smoking. If the same style of campaign were to be applied to sodas, I believe that the growing public knowledge of health problems that stem from drinking too many sugary beverages would drive consumption down naturally, as it did with cigarettes. Other factors also will be needed to be considered to improve a city's average BMI than just a soda tax, as it did not lower the soda consumption considerably. An anecdote for that is access to healthy food, clean water, walkable cities, and nutrition education have been proven already to be much more effective in lowering a city's average BMI. And that will conclude my project. Thank you. And these are all my citations, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you.